Greetings, Earthlings.
Check, check.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Josh Rabinowitz. This is So You Think You Can Sync, ? Before we start, I wanted to introduce you to Shira Gans, who created New York Music Month and is responsible for all this stuff. This is Shira.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys? This feels so high. Hello, everyone. I'm Shira from the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, and I wanted to welcome you all to New York Music Month, which, as Josh said, is something I created in 2017, and now it's grown year over year to be the largest music festival in the world. There's nothing else quite like it. There's no publicly funded, publicly curated music festival of its scale. And it's really what it is because New York is amazing, and people like Josh and all these other folks come to me with ideas, and we're able to work together to create opportunities, to create a platform for emerging artists, and for talks where there's professional development and opportunities to meet and connect with other people in the industry. So I hope you guys will check out the lineup. We have more than, well, now we've had 2. So now we're down to 63 more events in the month of June. It's all on our website, the nymusicmonth.nyc, and I hope I see you guys around at events this June.
She is the best. It is amazing that our government does fund the arts, right? It's what's going on in the United States. I'm not going there, I promise you. So You Think You Can Sync is kind of a pretty interesting and dynamic interactive panel, and I'm going to want to talk to you guys in the audience. But we put together an amazing group of music supervisors who basically work mostly in the ad space. Yes, all of you guys. And they're top notch. And some of them worked for me, so they're amazing because I taught them everything they know. I'm not gonna go there either. So what the process is essentially is I submitted, kind of put out a brief that some of you submitted for. Who here was picked, who here submitted music? All right, so we got a bunch. And then who here was picked for the top 10? Oh, good, so we got a bunch of people here, great. Basically what happened is people submitted to a written brief. They weren't given any visual context, yeah? And they submitted music based on that brief, which is mostly the typical way that it's done. Rarely do you have a visual, video context. You might have some a sizzle reel, you might have some scripts, you might have a bunch of pictures or images or keywords or whatever, and we're going to talk about that. So they submitted music, and then I went through it yesterday. A few days ago, I was in Canada, and I picked a top 10. And then this is our music editor, Eugenio. He went to NYU, not the New School. I teach here at the New School. I've been teaching here for 19 years. Sorry, man. It's all good. He has the top 10 tracks, and he has a video which he'll play for us. And we'll play some of the top 10 tracks, and then these guys are going to kind of collectively decide which 4 or 5 of them they think are the best. Then he's going to edit them, and while he's editing them, we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to play it for you guys, and you guys are going to vote on the one that you think is the best. Right, Phil? Yes, sir. Good to see you, man. I want to introduce this fine group of panelists. Can you just share your name and what you do briefly, and we'll talk deeper after we're in there. So Jake, why don't you go first?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Jake. I'm the head of music at an agency called Wieden & Kennedy. Woo! So I'm primarily based in London, but also increasingly working across their global network on music supervision projects, from music search and licensing to bespoke composition, looking more at music strategy, and increasingly, whether I like it or not, sonic branding.
Yeah. Wieden & Kennedy, one of the great ad agencies of all time.
Hello, my name is Becky Mathai. I am a producer at Butter Music and Sound here in New York. We have offices here in New York and LA. But yeah, we mostly work in advertising, music, original composition, and music supervision. And I'm from Philly. I don't know if this is a New York panel, but any Philadelphians here, yeah, shout out to you. But I've been working here for a few years and love it here. And yeah, I'm really grateful and honored to be on this panel.
Awesome. Emily?
Hello, my name is Emily Weinstein. I'm an independent music supervisor and executive producer. So I used to be in-house at a company called Squeaky Clean Studios. They work mostly in the advertising space. But since then, I've moved on and I work with a variety of different music houses, mostly all doing advertising and primarily in the West Coast market. But depending on the company I work with, it could work with everyone in the U.S.
There you go.
Ben?
Welcome. Ben?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Ben Dorenfeld. I'm the director of music at Anomaly, which is a global creative agency. It's a very similar role to Jake's. So I oversee all things music supervision, original music production, licensing, artist partnerships, and Josh taught me all the good things I know.
I did not pay him to say that. Leland?
Hey guys, Leland Drake here. I'm the director of licensing at United Masters and its sister agency Translation. We handle all things creative music, whether it's clearance, licensing, supervision, original, branding, and excited to be here. And I also used to work with Josh at Gray, so look out.
Joe?
Hello, I'm Joanna Batamitz. I have my own music shop called Club Sakuo. Also a music supervisor, EP, licensing expert, kind of do it all or as much as I can.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to read you the brief. It's on my phone. It's for, you guys didn't know the company, it's Mercedes. Musical brief. This 30-second ad focuses on personalized comfort and digital interaction with a cool new automobile. Key features. Sorry, my throat is dry. Highlighted biometric ID technology, allowing users to customize surroundings in car settings with a touch. The voiceover is John Hamm, the handsome John Hamm. Draper. Campaign focus emphasizes luxurious experience and user-focused technology. Your track should carry emotional uplift without overt sentimentality. No melodrama, no aggressive drops. Instead, smooth elevation. It's a cool phrase. Reflective of a system calibrating to you. And then I gave some keywords. Understated luxury, effortless sophistication, polished, premium texture, elevated minimal. Did AI come up with that? I think I came up with that. Quiet confidence, elevated minimal? I think I was high when I wrote this. Refined modernity, that's hard to say, soulful and cool, sensual, tasteful, not overt. Reassuring, uplifting, subtle, familiar, yet modern. That's a pretty deep brief. We don't really get briefs that are that detailed, but for this case, we did it. So before we play the top 10, and we'll play snippets of the top 10 tracks, and then you guys will like kind of deliberate and decide which ones you think should go through. Why don't we play the ad with no music, DJ, and see what you guys think. You can see the screen. Everyone's so quiet.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
So I don't think that's John Hamm, because this is the rough cut. That didn't sound like John Hamm. I don't know if you saw the little person in the background kind of moving the furniture. You'll see it again, because we'll play it one more time. Can we do that? Let's play it once more. Jump. Yep.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Oh, pretty cool. And it's 30 seconds. It might be him.
I think it was him.
Really?
I don't know. What do you?
I can't tell. Before we play the top 10, do you guys like have any thoughts or things that you think of when you see this? Any type of track, style, anything? Go for
Apart from elevated minimal, of course.
Yes.
Well, a few things that jumped out. I suppose there is a kind of there's a diegetic moment in there, isn't there? I mean, they press play on a speaker that kind of feels maybe interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like what you should probably do is take the track and maybe it's kind of subdued, and then when it presses it, then it kind of kicks in. I mean, that's just one scoring element, but I think it helps tell the story. Any other thoughts or events that happen in there?
There's a lot of visual movement, and I think for me, I would be looking for a track that has dynamic structure to match and emphasize those moments.
Agree. How about stylistically, besides all the words that I use to describe it? Is there any kind of music that you're listening to or you're feeling? I know I always instinctually hear like a couple tracks in my head. I don't know if you guys were. Or
I mean, I was just thinking there's a transition from daytime to nighttime, so something that can, translate to both of those moods. I'm always like kind of thinking like, is this a more evening vibe or is this a daytime vibe? But also like demographic for driving, and like, thinking about Mercedes, you're going to think about like, probably 30s, 40s target market, so what's current for those folks right now, those two people probably,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And is it current or is it like legacy music that they listen to? They seem pretty affluent to me, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah.
What was the tag again? If you could control everything, what did they say when they go? Because just thinking potential lyrical tie-ins.
See the guy on chat?
Yeah.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Right, change your surroundings. I don't know, maybe there's a fun button you could put on that with lyrical tie-in or something to play into the theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts?
I'm hearing like brass, maybe the moment where she like pushes the furniture away. It's like trumpet or something to emphasize there, and
there was one track that had a lot of trumpet, and it was close to the end, and then I took it out. Damn it.
Different perspectives.
For me, it feels a little like it could go into like an electronic pop world, just because there's like a lot of movement, and so I hear just like different type of elements and like just a beautiful production to like hit those markers. The jump makes it different though. So
Right,
it feels like a little, like you want it to be more a little, it has to be fun. So I don't know.
I was gonna say too with the jump, like that moment specifically, like you're talking about like a shift in the song. I feel like that could be like a cool, like maybe a legacy song, maybe where there's like a cool fill or like a specific melodic part that's memorable. And when she jumps up because she got excited almost, I feel like that could be really cool. So it could go either new or older too. But
I do have to say that I think trying to find the perfect song for something like this is really, really hard because there's so many things that have to happen versus like when you're working with an editor and they could like shift just slightly the picture to hit the right spot of the song. So this is a great challenge for you guys.
Yeah, it feels like something you'd almost want to have scored or edited to a track. Because like I get like a soul kind of jazz vibe, and I'd be curious to try like something vintage or something more current, like I don't know, maybe funky, No Worries, Anderson .Paak, I don't know, in that space.
Definitely. I mean, I know what they ended up using, because I worked on it. And I'll tell you guys later what it is. But it was a 90s kind of like pop funk, funky, soulful, subdued, minimal, but not totally minimal.
Let's beat it.
Yeah, so we're going to beat it. Hopefully we're going to beat it. Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts before we listen?
Well, I was just going to say conversely as well. There's also it's a carrier bag for like many different genres of music. I mean, you're probably going to find that quite a bit is going to work on this kind of particular picture. I mean, this is also what makes music supervision a bit of a dark art at times. Is that there's no right answer.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a dark art. and hopefully you guys will get a perspective on what it's kind of all about. Did you put in the songs in the order that I sent them to you?
Oh, I'm not in the order, but
So if I say a track, you'll... Okay, so the first one we're going to play a snippet of is called Activated. Are the activated people here? Yeah. Where are you? Oh, no. Sion Ray, S-C-I-O-N-R-A-E. Any friends with Sion Ray? Okay. So Activated, the reason I kind of picked it is because there's some activation happening. So I thought lyrically there was a connection. Why don't we play 30 seconds of it or so?
Everybody do it, say you know I wanna pop mine. Yeah. You should stop trying to say brand new in the foreign stop line tragic. I'm looking like magic, see it on me and say I gotta have it. Plastic. This money keeps stacking. Look at my neck and my wrist flashing. I am not passing. Another 3 stacks like I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. You just be acting. You couldn't even imagine. Came out for me, now I'm at.
Good track, don't you think? Yeah. All right, the second one is called Gimme That by Brianna Knight. Brianna? Hey! All right. Good track. Let's hear 30 seconds or 20 something. Trumpets. Yay. Congrats. Carly, are you here? Yeah. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hi, so this is by Carly Glenn. It's called Free.
Focused on the things gone wrong. I keep on telling myself I'll be fine. I keep on telling myself it's insane. I'm crawling out of bed. Free, free. You know I'm gonna be free, free.
Nice job. Bryson Livingston? All right. So what is the title of this track?
It's called ALA. It's a Croatian voicing.
So HVALA. Cool. And we're calling it that, and it's a 30-second commercial in the title also. It's 30 seconds. So like a jazz thing. Yeah.
Nice.
You guys remember all of them so far?
That was 4.
That was 4.
4.
Juliet Riley? Oh, wow. Hi. So this is It's Everything. And is this you as the performer? Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
Oh my God, this is everything. It's everything. Everything. Pull up to the spot, make it rock, blow 'em all away. Take it to the top, make it drop, do it every day. It's giving luxury, it's giving luminous, it's giving energy, it's giving effortless.
Yeah, if you get a Mercedes, it's everything. So this one, Jetwan Chase?
Yeah, well, her name is Jatan.
Jatan.
Her mom, she had to work.
Oh, you're her mom?
Yeah, her mother, so yeah.
And
So, yeah.
what's the title of the track?
The song is called
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is Chase. Ba-ba-da-dee-da. Sonic branding. Da-da-da-dee-da.
When the sun sets and summer's over, so numbing down until October, we meet again. You're my only friend, you're my only lover. Can we pretend this is killing me? Need that thrilling me, need you right by my side. Head keeps spinning, I love this feeling. Need to chase the high.
Nice track. Someone just texted, I'm watching you right now. Hey, Tim. Linda Starr?
That's me.
Ooh, so many people here. I love it. Fresh Meadows. I remember this track.
Get the camera, Zach.
Fresh meadows, then we hit the bank for the narrow. See the world and now max, stack at high racks. Order another round, tell them send it to the back, yeah. Fresh meadows, weekends in my top sky is yellow. See the world and now max, signing contracts. Living in our truth, no funnies, all facts. From the city to the
Nice. Very nice. What's that? What number would we say that's the seventh one or the sixth one?
I think that's
Six, yeah, I think so. Ooh, could be seven. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
no, that's right.
It's
Seven.
seven. It's seven.
RH by Krael D. Serial? Sorry. Is that you? All right. I'm so glad you're here. Let's hear it. Hi, Sean. Oh, nice track. Ryan? Yeah. See the world? All right. Let's see the world.
I wanna see the world. Something to discover. I wanna see.
What better way to see the world than in a Mercedes? Jen Richardson? Okay. Wish Mission. How it should be. Full mix? You got it?
Just like that. Feels so right. Every time. Feeling like letting go.
Nice. Very nice. So that's 10 tracks. It's a lot. There were over 100 submissions, and there were a lot of them were very good. Because I kind of knew what it looked like, I had an advantage. So that's why I kind of leaned into certain tracks. If I didn't know what it would look like, I could have gone all different directions, as I'm sure we all do all the time. And then we're presenting to a team of people that have maybe their own predisposed kind of tendency towards music. Sometimes it's friction, and then other times it's a love fest. It goes from the sublime to the grotesque, or the grotesque to the sublime. Did you guys, it's a lot of music to listen to, I know. And probably hard to keep track of it all. But did anything do you advocate for any certain ones? Did anything immediately hit you? Curious.
I feel like the penultimate two seem to
The last two?
No.
Oh, before the last.
Exactly. Yeah, the two before the last one seemed to stand out a little bit to me because I don't know, maybe the tempo was good and it had that vibe that felt fun and kind of maybe started to reflect some of those kind of moving parts of the spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
nice
that
work.
was See the World and RH. Cool.
I remember Serial. There you go.
Yeah.
Serial.
Nice. Any thoughts from you?
I like those. I think there was like one, it was more the intro, the like jazzier one. It was of interest because before the transition from like day to night, I think that's a cool like intro. I guess I would be curious about how the like second half would go, but I just thought that was a really unique approach to the spot. So
I mean, I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seeing it, knowing it, hearing the brief. I felt like that was good. Did any stand out to you? We're going to play snippets of them again just to remind you before we lock in.
Microphones at my disposal. I want to say, I think I'm remembering correctly, I think 2 and 3 and 4, yeah, were all standing out to me. Again, that jazzier one, I'm like I said, I'm big on structure, and I could really see the editor having a lot to play with. I think it was 2. And then a few of those others as well, I think. You had one.
Yeah, I had those same 3, and like everyone should be proud that there's a lot of submissions. So like that's like it's awesome to be here and have these hear all your tracks. So it's great to listen to all of them. But 2, 3, 4, I actually was like the instrumentation in all of those. I felt like it was exactly what I had in mind for the brief, and I almost felt like there were, we go through rounds of revisions oftentimes too with original comps, so not everything is like perfect right out the gate, so that's cool. I almost felt like there were elements of all of them that I'd combine, so like maybe y'all could like collab on the thing, that was cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Lee?
I agree with what everybody said, but I think the opening of track 1 was really interesting, specifically the building components. I know, and this could just be from the brainwash that I've experienced over the years of working in the industry, but people love a build. They love to at least play with a build, at least for the beginning 10, 15 seconds of the spots. It helps grab people in, and I think that song did a good job capturing that.
I thought so too, yeah. What about you?
I agree with Leland. I think the first track stood out the most for me and felt like a no-brainer, so I'm surprised like you guys didn't call it out, but
fight
shade no, I'm just kidding.
Shots fired.
It's saving it for you.
I mean, this is the interesting thing, like we all hear things differently and we all kind of see things differently, so I love that there's like the diversity of answers. Do we have top 5? Do we need more?
Well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the penultimate 2 before. I was like, penultimate means the 1 before the end, but then you said the penultimate 2. I'm like, okay, so that's like number 7. That's number 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Are we gonna listen to the top 5 at least?
Yeah. So
I'm going to change my answer to 1 as well, just because there is a right answer, clearly, despite what I said earlier.
Love
so
you.
I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then
8 and 9.
8 and 9. So why don't we listen to, if you can, number 1 would be Activated. Maybe just like a little hit of that to remind everyone. But of course, then you put it to picture, and it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So this is Activated, just about like right to the intro.
Wait, hold up, stop sign, everybody.
And then give me that, Brianna.
Give me
Cross your hand when you stop it. 3 was Carly Glenn's Free.
Out of my skin, I'm shedding the body I'm
Gonna be free. Someday I'm gonna be free. Maybe never. Bryson Livingston's track, Vala. It's a vibe.
I really love this for like the juxtaposition of like a more slower, like it feels luxury too.
Yeah, definitely. Premium, a word that we get given
It's
a
also
lot.
verging on extremely sexy. It's also happening. I'm hearing creative directors in the room going, that's very, very sexy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then See the World, Ryan.
I wanna see the world. Something to discover.
I think that's really good too. And then RH. Cradle. So I think that's 6. So we got to cut it down.
How many do we need?
5.
5.
So activated, we're going to give a thumb up.
That's number 1.
That's number 1. Number 2 is Gimme That.
I'm still down with Gimme That.
Mhm.
We got, oh yeah.
Free by Carly Glenn. I Want to Be Free. On the Fence.
On the fence.
Yeah.
On the fence.
The Bryson Livingston, sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. Haval?
Oh yeah, that's the jazz.
The jazz one?
Yeah, jazz.
Mm-hmm. Then RH, which was like the dance one. Boom, boom, 4 on the floor.
I like want to fight for that one. I don't know. I want to listen more somehow. But I feel like it could maybe. Yeah, maybe it's worth fighting.
We can include that one because we have 5. We just need this is 1. It's
cutting
bad. I hate cutting. I don't want to cut it.
It's tough.
Well, and it's
This is
different
tough.
too, and I think it's worth including for that alone.
And then, See the World. I want to see the world.
The lyrics work.
Great song, but maybe a little too emotional or moody.
I think the mood is a little questionable.
Yeah.
Great track.
Actually could work for an automotive spot. I don't know about for this automotive
I
spot.
agree with that. Yeah, it definitely gives car commercial, but because they're not in the car for a very long time, and they're home, which is strange.
It's more of a lifestyle car commercial rather than like the product, because that would definitely work for a product automotive.
Okay. So we have activated. We'll go. You'll dig into that. Gimme That. We were on the fence with Free. The jazz one by Bryson Livingston. That's a go. The dance track is a go. And then it's between See the World or Free. Which one do you guys feel? I want to be free or I want to see the world? I'd like to be both.
Could we play both of those again?
Yeah, do you want to play the melody, like the hook of Free?
Yeah. He's the one. Jake's got us. Those are Jake's picks. Oh, here it is. Works.
And then I want to see the world.
Jake wins.
Or see the world.
I wanna see the world.
Let's go with free. Okay, very good tracks. Thank you very much for all the great submissions. He's going to dig in right now and edit. But thank you. Headphones on. Well, tell me when you're done, and let's talk. Let's talk about what we do and reveal the process a little bit. Like, what's the process generally at Wieden & Kennedy? Do you have like tons of different major accounts? Like, how does it work for you? What's it all about?
Oh God, I don't know whether Wieden. I'm really interested to see Ben's answer here as well, because he does have a very similar position. My experience at Wieden & Kennedy, and I've been the head of music for 18 months, and before that I've worked at external music companies and worked with them as a client. I've got to say it's pretty random. I mean, we work across Nike, Ford, and McDonald's as our biggest accounts. So, you know, we're briefed now not only with a kind of pragmatic approach to what track is going to work on that 30-second or 60-second spot, but, you know, we're often thinking about kind of cultural cachet of the artist themselves, that there has to be some kind of relevance. I'm often briefed on, you know, we also work with Marshalls from the London office. We don't have Marshalls in the UK, but I'm told it's quite big over here. And, you know, usually the brief for that is, the spot is this, it's 60 seconds long, we need to sync an artist who's about to, you know, explode. And we did this about 3 or 4 years ago with Chapel Roan, and it all really happened nice and serendipitously. And now they come back and say, can we do that again? And we can't, because it was a complete fluke. So there are all sorts of you know, of kind of different ways in, but I think as a process, it's, from my own personal standpoint, it's trying to try things that feel kind of cheeky, and whilst looking at the brief and digesting it correctly, also suggesting things that our creative directors or even the brand may not have thought themselves. And I suppose there's that kind of double diamond thing. You know, you start wide, you go in, you go wide again, and hopefully during that process you've found the winner, and then at the end it changes again.
Yeah. There's a lot of shifts, and then there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. As you may or may not know, there's a lot of points of entry, a lot of people making the decisions. I don't know, when I was on the agency side, if I really, really believed in it, I would like go around everybody and take it to the top and get in trouble, but it was worth it sometimes for the big ones. It's very difficult with so many cooks in the kitchen.
It's true, and it's hard not to get really emotionally invested in that cheeky idea, you know, and if for you the stars have aligned, then you've got a lot of, you know, stakeholders to try and convince, and you know, maybe part of the job as well is not only suggesting the music, but the means by which you actually communicate why it's right for the spot. And trying not to have your heart broken with this stuff is interesting. You would think after 10 years you just wouldn't give a shit, but you genuinely do. So,
absolutely, I think that's a really good point. I started out personally as someone who wrote music for ads, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the hit when people would say, well, that's not good. I'm like, oh, that's too jazzy. I'm like, that's not jazz. Like, what are you talking about? But this happens, right? And I couldn't take the hit, so I was like, I'm going to try to make it easier.
And same story here. I mean, I was a composer getting into music supervision, and it was brutal. You know, it was tough, but worth it, and very, very enjoyable when the juice is worth the squeeze, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Your thoughts on what we do and how you do it, and some interesting tidbits.
Yeah, I know. I guess I could speak from like the music house side of things. So like I said, I work at Butter. We're a music house that we primarily do, like, you know, we would work with an agency and collaborate on the track, whether it's original or if they, you know, ask for like a sync, like a library track or a, you know, existing track. So our position is usually like, you know, we'll work with an agency producer and you know, would be briefed by them, and then we would create tracks, especially for original jobs, based on those briefs and sort of work internally. I actually have my EP here too, so I work with Renee, she's awesome. So, you know, would work under her, and we would figure out sort of the project together, and yeah, it's a really like collaborative process. As a producer, it's like you work with people. I like to work with people that are like better than you, and composers like always trying to be in that room, because as producers we're like creative, but also we're there to sort of guide and kind of help the creative process, even if we're not necessarily involved in it. So that's like part of the job that I really enjoy, because I came into the industry as an engineer actually and a music producer, but then I came to this side and it was a whole other world and had to learn about like the lingo and the things that we do and all of that. But it's it's really fun on this side, and in advertising things move really quickly, so you just have to be ready for anything.
Nothing like the pace of advertising.
Yes.
I like it too. I used to work in studios and work with artists, and they do vocal sessions, and I couldn't take just sitting there, vocal comp after vocal comp. Some people are great at it, and I was like, I like it fast. And then it's art meets commerce, right? So as a producer, you're dealing with a budget, and you have to make things work within a budget. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, budgets, they can range. I know we have like agency producers here. They could probably also talk more on, or music supervisors can talk on those too. But like, depending on the project, you work with a wide range of like for us, if it's like original jobs composers, it could be up and coming talent or like well-known composers. But when you work with budgets, you just get be really flexible and creative. Like anything can happen within any budget. It's just like being mindful of those, and when you're a producer, you're keeping track of that, of the money and like where those things are going to. So it's all the like fun stuff that like the composers or the creative people don't want to deal with, but we are here to do that and like make sure they don't have to worry about it and just create. So yeah, there's like two sides of being a producer, but I think I really enjoy being part of both sides, because you kind of get that well-rounded experience.
Nice. Left brain, right brain. Emily, thoughts?
Where do you begin with that? I think as like a high-level overview of what we do and how I feel where I am at doing it is, I get asked a lot like, oh, so it's just you're sitting there pulling music that you like, and it's not about what I like. It's about what's right for the spot. It may not even be about what the brand or the agency likes either. It's what works with the visual. And a lot of times we'll come into a project and there will be a brief, and maybe we've worked on it together to try to develop that direction. And when I say we, I mean someone from agency side and then someone from the music house side. And it might take a completely different shape by the end of the project, because what we've thrown out just might not be working by the end. And I think once you get in there, like there's so much good music out there, and there's good music that we've got a car spot, right? So you're sitting in the car, you're putting on good music in the car, it makes you want to drive, makes you feel good. What we're looking for is music that makes you want to buy the car. So that can be a different, a different thing than what you've set out to do. And, for me, I love to try to explore something different. What haven't we thought about? Throwing out wild cards and, trying to make the unexpected choice and think about what's going to grab our audience's attention. Our audiences are intelligent people, and we want to make sure that we're grabbing their attention and they're engaging with the content that we're creating.
Well said. I teach a class on music supervision at Berkeley, and I teach here at the New School. I've been here for 19 years. And what I try to share with people is, how do you kind of come up with something that makes you feel the expected but in an unexpected way musically? And I feel like as a music supervisor, egotistically, that's what I've always tried to do, is come up with that cool thing that nobody else came up with, right? And it's not so easy to do, but it can be done. And I'm sure you're able to do that with some of the brands you work on.
Yeah, we try to do that. I think I was going to talk about, to expand on everyone else, what you mentioned, just for, folks like who are creators, artists, composers, producers. There's so many stakeholders. So like working at an agency, day to day, like we're working with creative directors. That's kind of like the bread and butter, but like with producers, strategists, account teams. I used to reference Mad Men for but now it's like dated, that show. If you've seen it, all the characters in advertising, but then there's also the folks, the marketers on the brand side. So it's like to understand like all these different, players, is to know how many folks are involved in the decision-making process. Someone once said it's like a miracle when a song gets placed in an ad, or when an artist gets, it sometimes does feel that way. You could have 10 to 20 different people involved in the decision-making process in the end. So
Absolutely. And you've been working at the same place for how long now? 10?
I've been there now 8 years.
8.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, a lot agency side. It's a lot of, you know, aside from like obviously the creative of music, it's a lot of trust and you know, getting to, you know, understand each creative team, what their taste is, what their style is, how they work, and I mean, creative team is usually creative director is a combination of like a copywriter and an art director. So. What types of work they do, like what brands they're on, obviously, you know, the brands, but just to get to know them on a personal level, you know, so that you can support them as best as possible from a music perspective.
And they trust you, and everybody has like their favorite music. I'm sure you deal with that with your creatives. They're like, this is the music I love, and I want this music to be used in an ad. And it just doesn't always work. And there are so many different people you have to deal with. What's your situation at Translation United Masters?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of people on the decision-making side involved, but there's also a lot of people on the pitching and sort of resources side. So like something to consider, like, yes, we might be the focal point, like the music comes to us and we share it to the decision makers, but there's a lot of people who are great resources for us on the other side. So like, let's say you get a brief and you need like some type of undiscovered vintage funk soul or something. You kind of know just from being in the industry what catalog would have that, who's the best record label to reach out to, and you can work with them to sort of find some type of magical piece that you may not have been able to just pull up on your own on Spotify. Another thing to add, Jake, to build to what you were saying in terms of the right timing for the artist and finding the right artist and making a story, another cool element is to use the product to, or like identify what service the product is providing and see if the artist has an ability to connect with that. So like we have Eli Lilly as one of our clients, and there was an eczema product we were doing a spot for, and we put out a search for artists who suffer from eczema or have family who suffer, and we were able to connect with this artist, Trevor Jackson, and he did like an original Mary J. Blige cover for it. It was great, got a lot of press, yeah, and it helped the artist and the brand, and it elevated the spot as well, so it was a win-win all around. So it's another needle you can thread if you get sort of the right circumstances together, you know?
Absolutely, and it's great to find someone like Chappell Roan and help break that artist, right? I think advertising, was she broken already?
No, I don't want to claim that I
Congratulations, Jake.
It was the
Thank you.
Stay close.
Thank you for that. But I think that's what a lot of us are trying to do, is kind of come up with something that's going to kind of reverberate and resonate in culture. And certain brands, you have these opportunities. Nike certainly has been an amazing brand. Trying to think of other ones, Volkswagen, Apple, obviously. And, you know, whenever I think of Apple too, I think of the button at the end. In this spot, I keep looking over here and I see like the logo, hitting the logo, kind of that treatment of the logo. That's something that comes up so often with sonic branding. I don't know, is that something in your world that you touch on a bit?
I haven't gone into like sonic branding a ton, and I don't love it.
Yeah.
But I want to add to what Jake was saying, because I found myself early last year. My task was to find the song of the summer, and I think last year was the first year that there was no song of the summer. And there were articles written about it. Actually, no one song popped really, and so I was in this space of like trying to find, like months in advance, and trying to pull up, and nothing sounded right. And how can you even predict that this is going to be the song of the summer? But yeah, it was funny to see that there was no song. So, but otherwise, like it is a tough thing to like land on a song. Another thing that I wanted to like note is it's sometimes easier, in my opinion, to find a song that fits in a 30-second spot or even in a 60-second spot, but then there's cut downs that always happen, and now we have to make that song fit in a 15-second spot and in a 6-second spot, and that's so hard. That is an art in itself. And you know, even just like looking at, say, I'm looking at classical music, trying to cut a classical piece down to 6 seconds, it's like next to impossible because it takes so long to build. So there's so many reasons why a song gets picked in the end, and sometimes is maybe the cut down piece, or just, yeah, it could be anything really. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and I think it's important, as you're pitching music to people that can place the music or help you place it, is to consider doing edits in 30-second formats, right, or 15-second, or even 6-second, which.
Yeah, and this is like where music houses like really shine because they're composing to picture and they're editing in real time versus sometimes I'll do edits, but music supervisors are there to find the song, not necessarily edit the song. So we don't always know, or sometimes we're at the mercy of an editor to make it work. So working with an amazing editor is, in my opinion, everything.
We got an amazing editor here. No pressure. He can't hear me.
And actually, on that point as well, I mean, we're often briefed, with a spot that, the first edit has been assembled. It's obviously an editor has done that, and that editor is in the driving seat of what initial moods and tracks are going on there. And, there's a lot of power in that position. And, it's definitely the case sometimes that what that editor puts on in that first instance is what ends up going out on TV because it just works.
But also that they have an ego too, so they're making more compelling edits with the song that they like versus with the song that they don't want to use. So, and it's not that you can't make a compelling edit, they just don't want to.
I've butted heads with video editors for years and years and tried to convince them not to put any music on there. You put a Led Zeppelin song on there, it's like, no, we're not going to spend $2 million to license Led Zeppelin, so I try to give them tracks. But I'm just curious, from each of you, what has been like a great experience, like output that you're proud of, that you felt good about what you do? Because I know so often your heart gets broken because you're coming up with something that you think is amazing, right? It moves you, it inspires you, and then they're like, nah. So do you guys, anyone can start, but I want to hear from all five of you, what something that really was like exceptional that happened?
I feel like I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of cool stuff. Like it's I don't know, it's pretty awesome. Like we did a re-recording of Sly and the Family Stone, If You Want Me to Stay, for Crown Royal, and Karina Evans directed it, which was amazing. And we had she's done Drake videos, Kendrick videos, and we had Ari Lennox and Anthony Ramos do the cover, and Dreamville put it out. And I think it's like, it feels really fun when you get to work with artists and you love and admire. So that was a cool one. First one we did, like when I was like early on, I was working on Pantene, and I was like, what am I gonna do with Pantene? And I got this artist I love, Kalela, in like the Pantene spot, and that was like a really early win. I realized, I was like, wow, I can like actually work with folks like I really admire. So that one, we did a music video last year for Journeys too. We remade this song from the 90s called You Get What You Give by this band called the New Radicals. And we did it like shot for shot. We had stills directed. He directs all of Bad Bunny's videos. So I was on the shoot, on set. Like we're not always, music folks, like we're not always on set, but like you get to go to like a shoot. It's like quite a thrill, I mean, I think it is. So I was there for that one. That was really cool.
Yeah. Can you repeat the brand?
For which one? The last one? Oh, Journeys. So like the kind of like mall shoe retail brand, which is near and dear to my heart because like I grew up when I was like 12, 13, like going to suburban malls shopping at Journeys, So
what's Pantene? I don't know what that
hair
is.
like.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
You say Pantene.
You guys you don't have Pantene.
Pantene. Yeah, we've got Pantene. Yeah. Okay. Pantene. Okay.
Absolutely. I was going to say or like Jaguar or Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Do you say
coming from Yorkshire? It's not going to help. Jaguar.
Jaguar. Yeah. So we say Jaguar. Urinal, urinal. So doing covers, I always found to be great.
Covers is pretty cool because I think in our world people like covers because it's like it's bridging the gap between the new and old, So it's like legacy. It's like it's putting demographics together. It's like an old fan base, a new fan base. That demographic, and brands are always that's part of strategy. That's the strategists are always working like how can we bring new folks into the fold, So. covers are definitely a way to do that.
I love it. You're borrowing the cachet of something that people already know.
Yeah.
It seems like in advertising now, I don't know if you guys watch much television. I bet like half of you don't anymore. But it's so many famous songs that are being used in ads. So expensive, like big ticket items. Kind of drives me. Watching the Super Bowl, I'm like, really? That's like $500 million they spent on song rights? But that's a whole other discussion. Any other cool scenarios you guys want to share?
I mean, I
Modelo?
grew up like obsessed with the Spice Girls, and that was like my first real. First of all, that was my first concert I ever went to. This is embarrassing, but it was just an obsession. As a little girl, just like very much looked up to them. I could have never ever dreamed of ever working with them in some capacity, and so getting to place one of their songs was really dear to me. And I also had to write a love letter to their manager just to get the song approved because our budget wasn't crazy. So when it went through, like it really, yeah, it was special. And it was also like my first sync as my own company. So it just all felt very girl power.
Yeah. Which song?
Never give up on the good times.
Josh and I had a great experience a couple of years ago when I was at Gray and Josh. You were consulting. We had the opportunity to go to Abbey Road Studios in London and re-record Ennio Morricone's classic track that they use for Modelo's. What's the name of the title?
Ecstasy of Gold.
Ecstasy of Gold. And it was a 50-person orchestra. It was an amazing time to just be in that space. And the cool thing was, the reason we were doing it is because Modelo had been using this track for years, but they wanted the specific stems isolated so they could fix it more appropriately to the edits. And the way Ennio did it originally, it was just overhead mics with no stems. So Josh and I got to really go in, let's just have the string sections. Okay, let's just have the brass sections. Okay, let's get percussion. It was amazing. It sounded really good. I was a stressed out mess during that week, but
no,
we
you
got
did
it
great.
done. Yeah, we came home with the goods, and we had a good time while doing it.
And we drank a lot.
Yeah.
And we saw a fox in the street. You know, if you're in London, you see foxes in the street. That's a whole other thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah, is that not? Yeah, I've not seen any foxes actually.
There's no foxes in New York.
What are you doing with the foxes around here?
I know. No, the first time I saw a fox, I'm like, wow, that dog looks really nice. I was close to it. I was like, oh shit, it's a fox. Yeah. Nobody did anything. Any other?
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
Well, there's a really big one that I really want to talk about, and I can't because, of course, in our industry we get NDA'd a lot, but it's coming out this month, so keep your eyes open.
Give us a clue.
I cannot at all. Sorry. You'll know it when you see it. I think it's probably the best clue I can give. But last year I did one, and it was licensed for Our House by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and the spot was a Spectrum ad, and it featured a couple that were moving into a new home. And so it was a big license. It gave me a lot of agita, as a lot of these things tend to do. Didn't know if it was going to happen, and we were getting down to the wire, and so just generally very emotional. We did end up finding out that the license was approved on the day of our deadline, but it was also the day that my husband and I closed on our house. So we were the couple in the spot, moving in, getting our Wi-Fi stuff. So yeah, that's very close to my heart.
Nice. You know, I drove through Laurel Canyon and I saw the house, Our House, that they wrote about and they sung about. Who cares? I don't. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I guess we're doing like the licensing thing. There was like a recent job I did with Renee for FanDuel. It was we cleared a Rick Ross song, and that was pretty cool because the song, it's not like you can't use for broadcast. You can't really use a lot of that song for a broadcast spot. And it was really fun to figure out the challenge. It was like a full team effort. Our ECD did some editing on it, and it worked, and that was really fun. And Renee and I were doing clearance, and that whole process took a while. And actually during the process, I'm a Sixers fan. I know the Knicks, you're having this is your time, so I'm not gonna make a thing. But at the time, I was feeling hopeful while we were doing it, and then because it's for an NBA, the playoffs, and we know how that turned out for us. So aside from that, I was excited for the spot.
Mhm.
And then another one was like one of the bigger ones was we did like a Haagen-Dazs spot for the Super Bowl, and we cleared Cruisin' by Smokey Robinson, and like
Yeah.
that was like a legacy track, and you know, it was pretty cool for me. I think that was like the biggest like probably license I had done, and it was a Super Bowl spot, like my first when I was at Butter, or while I was at Butter. So yeah, those are some cool ones, and I think like just the challenge of especially like legacy catalog stuff or artists that don't always like make ads or kind of clear for ads. I feel like that's always like a fun moment you have. I'm sure all of you have done like really massive syncs too, and I think like it's just that moment where like, whoa, we just did that, and yeah, so those were really fun.
Nice. What I like about your company, like many things, but it's the name. The email is like first name dot last name at gimmebutter.com.
Yeah. We like to have fun with it, yeah.
And I realized something about the thing we worked on. Like, if they were doing that now with the technology in AI, they could have just plugged it in. And I'm glad they didn't.
I know, it's great. I think that AI STEM technology came out like 6 months after we.
Right. Like, we tried it,
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I tried a couple. I know you did a bunch of things. So we got lucky. We got to go to Abbey Road and hang out and got the tour and all that. Great. So our man is done. So we're going to play the 5 edits, and then you guys can just like say something if there's one you want to advocate for, or just some point of view, or something happens like with the logo that feels really great, or the intro, or the middle, or the early to late middle, or the penultimate second. I always screw that one up, penultimate. I know it's the one before the end, but I still screw it up. All right, so which one is first? Activated. Activate it. Get it? Activated.
Wait, hold up, stop sign. Everybody do it, say you know I wanna pop mine. Yeah, you just stop trying to see. Active, 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 active.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Whoa! I'm a big fan of endings and buttons, and I like how it dropped out. That was pretty cool. Cool. All right. Very good. Remember it. All right. Which was next?
Bree, give me that.
Give me that. Jump.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Nice. Very nice. You guys remember the Brand New Heavies? Give me one of those. You know that song? I'm dating myself. All right. Which one is next, baby?
Free.
Free. Carly.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Nice.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Nice. I don't know if you guys noticed, he touches the painting. There was the craziest sound effect. Do you still have it somewhere? Or you got rid of it?
Yeah, so
Can you just play the sound effect? We had to take it out. It was like just a placeholder that the editor put in.
What if you could change your surroundings?
Huh? And then I did this at Berkeley, this similar thing, and we didn't take it out, and you just kept hearing that. So it's freaking jarring. What's the last one? RH.
What if you could change your surroundings with the simple touch of a finger? Now you can. Biometric ID inside the innovative new C.
Anyone want to advocate for one particular one? These guys are going to be the ones who pick it.
I liked the first one and the last one were standout for me.
Yeah. What did you like about the first one?
I can't remember. I really can't remember what happened.
I like the first
I'm
one.
not gonna advocate for anything. I just want to say that the slow track, like, really worked well on the back end, but not on the front end. And that's the other thing that I was trying to say before, where it's really hard to pitch to a spot that's locked, because like towards the end, it was just beautiful. So that was just my 2 cents.
So 1 and 5 that you liked. The ultimate. The initial and the ultimate. Anyone?
One was great.
Yeah.
I do want to like interrogate what I like. I mean, like, yeah, it works. It works. I think it's pushing it a bit. Like, you know, in terms of like, I'm thinking of the brand, like what ultimately approved. Now I'm just so curious what they did, you know. I mean, almost like there's almost a little bit of like a Channel Trace thing going on, but like, you know, something more maybe accessible, which is good for this. Yeah, I really like it. It's really working. You're right, Joe.
I was gonna say I agree with that too. It like kind of, it's like the environment of where they're at. It's like chill enough, but then there's also movement. So I feel like it's something you would probably play in that family room, living room setting, but then it kind of picks up the pace and like she's moving around and it feels like you could be listening to that doing like skipping, but also chilling in your home. If that makes sense, like both.
One quick thing on 4, because I love that track so much, and I think it's produced really well, is like, you know, I've always wanted to push against like there are just these like cliches or tropes in advertising that just don't work, and I've always just like there is none, anything can work, and I do think there's some truth to that, but also the tempo is like, it does lag, and you know, when Joe's kind of saying this about like editing, like we were working with like oftentimes 30 seconds, maybe 60, but like also a lot of times 15, and there's not a whole lot of time, so folks really like, you know, we push the tempo a bit. Stuff that's a little more slower tempo, it tends to be more difficult to work with on the whole. Not always, but on the whole.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, it was amazing to see how that jazz track in particular, the vibe was so different. It did not seem like a car commercial when you were watching it. It didn't barely seem like a commercial. It seemed like a scene of a film. You weren't sure where it was going, and so it definitely changed the vibe in a dramatic way. I think it's a beautiful track, but to me that was the one that was the most surprising against the cut.
Any other thoughts? Yeah, go for it.
This is like where I like to push editors sometimes, or like push their buttons. That first track, there's this like whoop that happens at the very end. It would have been so cool if it happened when she jumps, because I want something to happen there, like sonically. I don't know if you have such little time to make edits, so that's unfair to say. But like, as soon as it finished, I was like, we could have had the whoop before. Maybe it doesn't work, but it's just like the things that happen in my brain.
Yeah, and
But great
sometimes
edit.
people
but
are.
Your edits were excellent.
No, the edits are.
That's a totally fair note. That might work, and a lot of the times when you're doing edits, very likely this is not like the final version of the edit. It's more of like a starting point, and then you get the conversation. And it's okay, like that little whoop there, or maybe we should kick in earlier. Any kind of like feedback like that. So that's sort of that's not beyond the scope of what's normal at all for us.
It's an ever-changing process. Any other thoughts? So let's play through a snippet of each, and then you guys can vote. And when you vote, just vote for one, please. Don't vote for 5. Here's activated. Is that first?
Wait, hold up, stop sign. Everybody do it, say you know I wanna pop mine. Yeah, you just stop trying to see. Active.
All right, so that's track number 1. Number 2. Cool. Give me that. 3. Great. Track 4. Good track. They're all good tracks. All right. Time to vote. You guys ready? So you're going to raise your hand, and I'm going to try to count. I can count cards and blackjack, so I should be able to count. Okay. So track 1, who votes for that one? Okay. Track 2. Ooh, pretty close. Ooh. Okay, track 3. Ooh. Track 4. Nice. And track 5. All right. 1 is the winner. Congratulations. But it was close. It was close. So thanks to the panelists. Thanks to Eugenio for amazing editing. Thanks to Shira for having us do this event. Thanks to the New School and Zeb for having us in the room. Thanks to you guys in the back. And it's New York Music Month. It begins. There's 60 more plus events. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great one.